Hello, and welcome to Top 32 of the BBR Summer Scramble. I'm Zand, and I don't have a lot of faith in our team this week, just to be honest. Our opponent today is a familiar face to the channel. It's Darude. We played him twice in UNPL Academy, and we were his only two losses of the season. Honestly, looking back at it, he probably would have won out the entire season had we not thwarted him in playoffs, but, things happen. And I think he might just get his revenge in the game today because he has a terrifying team. He's got so many offensive threats. He's got Palafin, Dragonite, and Ogre Cornerstone, which we've already lost to one Ogre on the physical side, and then he's got Chi Yu on the special side. So four incredibly offensive Pokemon. He's got the Sableye, which is just a massive annoyance to a mono-normal team because anytime I click a normal move, he can just encore and lock me in. And then what else? Oh no, I messed up something. I don't think I can... Oh, I haven't locked in my team yet. Okay, I'm gonna go fix something real quick. I almost messed up an ability badly. So we're going to fix that, and we will be right back. I'm probably going to keep this intro, but just know that we are not confident in this battle. Okay, we are back. Sorry about that brief intermission. My Dunsparce ability was wrong. I originally had it set without any Serene Grace moves, so I just put it to Rattled by default. And then the set ended up changing back to Paraflinch, so we wanted to make sure that we had Serene Grace so that we could potentially use that against him. So I'm going to let my opponent know that we are ready anytime. And yeah, we're bringing some, I'd say, non-standard stuff this week to try to deal with all of his offense. So we've got a Coil Roost, Rock Slide, Mono Rock Slide to Dunsparce with Glare. Just because paralyzing a lot of his team really helps most of our Pokemon in the endgame. We've got everything set, I believe, to outrun 350, like base 110s. Either after setting up our own speed or after reducing their speed. So anything paralyzed, like Ursaluna always outruns Ogerpon if it's paralyzed. So we're feeling pretty good about that. I feel like I'm bringing some of the best sets I could bring. I did kind of want Staraptor, if we're being honest. I do kind of wish I had brought it over maybe Ditto, or maybe Zoroark, but I feel like Zoroark is actually a really decent lead here because with Taunt, Willow, and then Dual Stab, it feels like it can deal with pretty much anything and at least do a big chunk before it goes down. I guess the worst possible lead we could go against would be Chi Yu just immediately being scarfed and Dark Pulse flinching us and then knocking us out the next turn. But other than that one specific scenario and maybe a banded dual wing beat Dragonite, I think we're feeling okay. Alchemy is pretty difficult for us to deal with if it gets super set up. We've got a 4-attack Terapagos, we've got a Citrus Berry Ursaluna with Bulk Up and Trailblaze, because I made it so that either it always gets 2-hit KO'd or never gets 2-hit KO'd by certain moves, and that may sound weird, but with Citrus Berry, if it can't get 2-hit KO'd, then Citrus Berry is kind of like crit prevention, and then if we're guaranteed 2-hit KO'd, then we can always take 3 because Citrus Berry will give us that extra health we need, and we don't have to worry about a low roll into a high roll. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start searching. I am not sure what music. Let's just go with something a little different. Let him know we're searching, and I'll send him that we are Terra Dragon, Ursaluna. I know it's a little predictable, I guess, because his 3 strongest Pokemon are Fire, Water, and Grass, so Terra Dragon just covers all of them really well. Other option was Terra Water, because it covers Palafin better, like Ice Punch Palafin and Dragon Move Dragonite, but it's definitely worse against Ogerpon, so we don't really want to let it get out of control. He's also got Smeargle as his kind of all-in-one hazard setter, so just a taunt lead of some kind felt very relevant. Sorry, had to PM him back real quick. So, Scarfed Smeargle with Sticky Web could be a headache, but we are Boots on Terapagos, so we just have to get a spin off at some point. Otherwise, Mental Herb Smeargle could be annoying with Spore, but he has to make a hard call in what we're bringing. So we'll see. It looks like we found our opponent. He is Terra Dark Chiyu. Okay, so the thing we were worried about, the Dark Pulse spam potentially flinching us out of the game, is definitely a possibility. We see no Smeargle and no Alchemy, so I'm totally okay with that. I think that is definitely his best 6 he could have brought. So we will go with Zoroark as our lead. I think I want to disguise it as Dunsparce because I have brought lead rocks to Dunsparce before. And it's hard with this team because Zoroark can't really disguise as Ditto or Terrapagos. I've still not tested it, but I think Zoroark as Terrapagos, like, it won't transform, so it'll be obvious that it is Zoroark. And then Ursaluna's kind of weird because obviously it burns itself a lot of the time, even though I don't think I've run a single Flame Orb set so far. So, we'll see. Sorry if I'm rambling a bit. It's pretty early, so I'm just trying to kind of wake up and talk myself into into being more awake. And if you're here, thanks for watching. I feel like our pool battles were really fun, and if we lose here, so be it. I think Darude, we kind of owe him like a victory, so it's all good. He does lead the Dragonite, which is interesting. I wonder if he'll switch out on a potential Glare here. I am just going to go for the burn, and we will see what happens. He could be Lum, I suppose, but not banking on it. We do miss, it looks like. We do miss our Willow, and he will just go for Scale Shot, so he will probably KO and outspeed us. So that's about as bad as a turn 1 could have went, because burning this would have been very good for us. Does he knock us out? He knocks us to 14 health, and he knocks us out. Okay. So as bad as a turn 1 can go. And obviously he gets his speed increase at the cost of his defense going down, so we at least threaten him with Ursaluna, like Ice Punch, but obviously his multi-scale is still intact, where he's not burned. We could go into Ditto, but I feel like Scale Shot, like Dragonite into Scale Shot Dragonite. I mean, he's not Scarf. He's also not that offensive, because 3 Scale Shots didn't knock me out. So that leads me to believe he's like Jolly, not max investment. So does he knock himself out? Looks like maybe. So we're just gonna go into Ditto. He doesn't have a Dragon type switch in. So that's not great. But what can you do? That's Mons. Willow is an 85% accurate move. Scale Shot Iron Head Rest Talk. Okay, that is not the set I expected. Why Iron Head, I wonder? I'm just gonna go for the Scale Shot because... Okay, he does switch. He knows I'm going for Scale Shot. There's no other move I would ever go for. Probably goes into Treads. Does go into the Treads. Is Booster Speed. Or Booster. Okay, is Booster Speed. Yeah, we're doing nothing. It completely walls us. So I feel like Darude is the type to very much take Ditto into consideration. I don't think he would have ignored it on the builder. So we can go into Terrapagos fairly easily here. And take 2. We go into Ursaluna, take 2. I do want to get the Dunsparce set up on something like this. But if we bring it in straight on an Iron Head into an Earthquake, we're not feeling great. So, we want to force this out if possible, but I don't know if I want to go ahead and burn my Terrapagos. Like the Terra Shell. I think that's really important to our late game. I think I could just go into Ursaluna, honestly. Like... I don't know. It's a tough call. Yeah, I think I'll go into Ursaluna. I feel like if there's anything we're going to get a potential bulk up on, it's Iron Treads. Even if it's max attack, I think we're fine against it. So he goes for body press. Oh, yeah, that's an issue. I did not calc for body press at all. So Ursaluna, it barely didn't get KO'd, which makes me a little nervous. So body press doing that much makes me think it's like max defense, max speed, which is very funny. It actually might be. So Earthquake never breaks us from where we are. I wish I was Drain Punch all of a sudden. I will go for one bulk up because we do have our Citrus Berry, so we will live another after we get the bulk up. I know it's a little bit of a brave play. He also could be predicting the Terra Dragon. That I didn't really think about. This is probably not my best showing. But we've got to start making some plays. Dragonite comes in. I don't think a Scale Shot or Iron Head knocks me out at this point. And because of how weak that Scale Shot was earlier, I'm going to say that he's actually not that strong. He might be loaded dice. So if we're at +1/+1, Ice Punch might just knock him out through his multi-scale, especially at -1 defense. But I think I could go for a Trailblaze to pop it, because he's now lost his booster speed as well. And we're not a Dragon type, which is very nice for us. So that, me kind of forgetting that I could Terastallize worked out. I honestly thought he would bring more of like a DD, like E-Speed type of Dragonite with just, you know, barely any coverage. But I guess just Dragon Spam makes a lot of sense. So just a Scale Shot. Once again, this guy could have been burned. That would have been really nice. He crits us. So now he might actually knock us out with the second Scale Shot, which is really unfortunate. So it looks like he's doing about 120 to 150, so he shouldn't knock us out with the next one. But that is annoying. We do get a Trailblaze speed boost, although we will not outspeed anything in the back. Unfortunately, at +1, we have to be at +2, and we have to go for the Ice Punch now. We don't have another option. Yeah, he is getting way too much mileage out of this Dragonite. That's pretty tough. Which he could have rested off the burn at some point. He does have counterplay to it. Sableye comes in, primed to Encore us into Ice Punch, but it does get 2-shot by it, and it is Helmet, so that's a bit frustrating. We don't want to lock into Earthquake because that allows Dragonite to come in and just do its thing again. Ice Punch also allows Palafin in though, so that's not fantastic. I will try to go for Quake. He could Encore us into Ice Punch, but Palafin's not like big Palafin yet, so we're feeling okay. He could try to burn me, which would be kind of funny. I'm actually very okay with this Sableye going down early, because it's really bad for our the Dunsparce set. I would hate to get Encored into like Coil or Roost. So if we can get rid of this now, I'm feeling actually quite a bit better about the Dunsparce endgame, as weird as that might sound. So yeah, game's not going super well so far, but at least we still have the Ditto in the back to prevent any kind of crazy setup sweeps he has in mind. Dragonite's multi-scale is at least broken now. Does Encore me into the Ice Punch. So Palafin probably comes in here. But honestly, it's going to sound weird, but I will take Ursaluna trading with Sableye. So Baby Palafin coming in on Ursaluna. Probably KOs us with Wave Crash. I didn't see what health we were on after the double helmet, but I can only imagine. Palafin is the switch of choice. We are at 48, so even with Terra Dragon, Wave Crash knocks us out from Banded. But if he's not banded, he's doing 43 to 51, so we can at least go for the Terra, go for an Ice Punch. I guess the worst the worst option would be he like bulks up, but he's Baby Palafin, so I can't imagine he's going to bulk up. Volterra. At least we get to see it, even though it didn't... We popped this earlier than I think I wanted to, but that's okay. He still doesn't have rocks up. Drain Punches does not KO us, only does 36 damage. Ice Punch does an okay amount, at least some amount of chip, and we get to see his item, which is actually really cool. He's leftover, so he might be sub, actually. So, Palafin, Drain Punch, and leftovers definitely leads me to believe that he is like sub bulk up. We don't have a great switch in here. I mean, sort of into Dunsparce. It wants to set up here, but I don't know that he allows that. Let's just go for another Drain Punch. We can actually, if that did 36 to Palafin, we can figure out how much that will do to, or if that did 36 to Ursalina, we can figure out how much that would do to the Dunsparce. So it looks like he's like Jolly max attack. Yeah, it's a perfect roll for a Jolly max attack. So the Dunsparce is taking a 4th. So we can pretty easily coil up on that. And I think it might be our best option. Palafin is also Encore though, so I think it might be better to go for a Glare first. And then we can deal with coiling. Because he can't Encore his turn 1. So he does Hard Switch, so Palafin will be activated next time it comes in. Tabitha comes back in. We're okay with this. Now we are Mono Rock Slide, which is not great. But it is at least very slow now. Now, do we have a switch into Body Press? Absolutely not. And that's okay. So let's look at Iron Shreds. I think we're doing like 6% per Rock Slide, yeah. And a Body Press to us is hurting reasonably. If we get a +1/+1, I don't think we'll be able to 1v1 this. Even if we get to +6/+6. I mean, yeah, we 1v1 it then, but he's gonna switch Palafin in at some point, right? But I don't really want to burn anything to the Body Press, so I think I will just stay in, as weird as it is. I considered going like Bite, but like, you know, most moves that I want to run like Headbutt would be completely walled by Sableye, and then Bite's just so weak anyway, it would barely be doing more. So he does set rocks, which is totally cool with me. We do have Heavy Duty Boots on our spinner, so we're not feeling too bad about that. I am going to coil once more, and then I think I'll attack once after that. He might just go straight back into Palafin though. But if he's like bulky sub, bulk up, Drain Punch, he can't really have room for Encore and a water move, so he would get walled by Zoroark. So I feel like he's not either Encore or sub, or I guess bulk up. I don't know. We need to figure out more about that Palafin for sure. We'll coil once more, see what he goes for. He decides to Body Press. Very little damage relative to how bulky Dunsparce is. I love this set because we run literally max defense bold and then just a little bit of HP, and then we have stats across the board on a lot of our Pokemon this time. It's pretty cool. I will go for a Rock Slide to try to catch the Palafin trying to come in and Encore me. I'm not saying it has it, but it's better to smack it in the face with a +2 Rock Slide than to let it set up on me for free. So Sableye's gone, which is a huge thorn in our side. He could go into a lot of other things too. If he goes into Chi-Yu, it just gets popped by Rock Slide. Okay, so he does switch, so we did make the right call. I could have glared as well. Goes into the Dragonite. This Rock Slide should knock it out, I think. We are at +2. Yeah, okay, not even close. That is a bulky Dragonite. A very bulky Dragonite. The thing is, though, we can just coil on this Dragonite. I don't care if it rests and Sleep Talks. It has nothing that it wants to do to us. So yeah, I'm just going to coil up because it's just going to rest here and get its multi-scale back anyway. So we'll just coil once more. I just can't let the Palafin catch me on a turn where I'm coiling. So yeah, that's actually pretty normal for no bulk Dragonite. So at +4, we knock it out when it doesn't have multi-scale. I think I can go for 1 Rock Slide here. I'm not willing to let him Encore me. Goes back into Tabitha. So this is going to be a war of attrition, it looks like. This is going to be a bit of a longer game at the mid-game. This is fine. At this point, it's him getting a crit or us running out of Rock Slides are the big issue. Oh, we only have 14? Oh, no. Okay, well, we're going to run out of Rock Slides unless we coil all the way up on this. So we're going to go ahead and get to +6 now. We don't really have a better option. So what have we not seen yet? We've not seen Chi-Yu yet, and we've not seen Ogerpon yet. So we use 4 coils, we have 2 more. I think he's kind of locked in with this and playing for a crit and running us out of Rock Slides. Let's see though. Oh, he has Endeavor. Okay, so that's going to be annoying. So he was like a lead tread set that didn't lead. So that is certainly an option. So I think we're going to have to get a little lucky against it. And hope it gets paraflinched all the way down when it's in low health. Let's just play Body Press. We take 40. I don't want to reveal my last move as Roost yet if I don't have to, but I also don't want to be in range of Chi-Yu. So we're going to go for 1 Rock Slide. This was almost rattled. That would have been horrible. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of those to knock this out. Do we want to be out of range of a crit also? So max defense, body press, crit. It's doing... It actually has a roll to KO us right now, but it's fine. I don't think it'll crit us. So it looks like we're gonna run down like about half of our Rock Slides here. It was our best move. I was just hoping I would have weakened Treads by the time I got the Dunsparce set up, but he kind of forced our hand a bit. We'll just continue going for this. His only answer to this at this point is a Terra Dark, Chi-Yu Dark Pulse. We'll Endeavor again. So let's just see how much that Chi-Yu's doing, because I am not feeling super confident. I will Roost once. Terra Dark, Dark Pulse. From a modest Scarf Chi-Yu is doing 77 to 93. And a Specs Chi-Yu, Terra Dark is absolutely knocking us out. Like, from full, with no, no chance of living. Okay, so he's just gonna spam Endeavor. Love to see it. So we play for Perez, or we just go ahead and knock him down with Rock Slides. I think we're just going to have to take the trade 1-for-1 with the Dunsparce, and then what is our end game looking like? It's looking like a CYCLIZAR that gets one-shot by Terra Dark, Dark Pulse, I'm sure. A Ditto that is speed tying the Terra Dark to you and not being terrestrialized. And then a Terrapagos that I'm pretty sure we don't knock it out from full with Scorching Sands, and I should have run Earth Power. So that's a little awkward. Hopefully he switches in. Maybe he's assessing if there's anything else he'd rather sack in front of the Dunsparce. Not sure. Okay, it does switch Tabitha out. Brings Daphne back in. Okay. So Palfin is going to eat a +6 Rock Slide here. It might have been Encore, based on how he brought it in there, expecting a Roost. Does take a massive chunk. Drain Punch will definitely not do too much back to us. Yeah, he might heal a little. Oh, that's only a +4 too. Yeah, Drain Punch is doing 8 to 10%. So I am just going to go for one more Rock Slide. He is forcing our hand, forcing us to knock out Palafin so that he could bring in Chi-Yu. I get it. Is sub. So he's really trying to run us out of Rock Slides, which is funny. But totally fair play. So that makes a lot of sense into Ditto. You know, I could go into Ditto here and steal Palafin. Because his switch-ins to Palafin are Dragonite. Because he almost certainly doesn't have Ice Punch. Because he's built his team really well to counter Ditto. And I really appreciate someone who actually takes the time to do that. Because I know it's a lot of extra work. Does just go for the Drain Punch. Does not get the crit. I don't trust that you're not Encore. So I'm just going to go for Rock Slide anyway. I know that Chi-Yu revenges us for free and we won't learn much about it. Now, I could save this, but I don't know that there's anything else I can set up on at this point. Chi-Yu is the switch of choice, I'm 95% sure. Yep, Bob the Fish. Sure enough. 100% KOs us from where we're at, unfortunately. We could go Ditto. How's Chi-Yu feeling against itself? Chi-Yu versus a Chi-Yu with about the same amount of health. I mean, it doesn't really like fighting itself, if that makes sense. I kind of do want to save to Dunsparce because I think it could be super obnoxious to him later on. So we'll actually have more health than him as well. Assuming he's not max health, which would be weird for Chi-Yu. So I think, actually, our abilities also cancel each other out, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure, but I remember the Beats Ruin have a weird interaction when they're against each other. So he does Terra. So the funny thing is, he's no longer resistant to fire. So the only way we lose this interaction is if he is also... No! He doesn't know a fire move. Oh my gosh. I would have been able to 1v1 him with like Flamethrower, and he has his only resist in the back is his Dragonite, but he didn't even bring a fire move, so I could go for Memento here, but I think I just go for Dark Pulse. Yeah, nothing on his team wants to take a Chi-Yu Dark Pulse. So I don't know if he's Scarfed. This might just be a speed tie, but that's really funny. I would actually like if he is faster than me, I would like to see him outrun me here, so that I could confirm that he's Scarfed, because then CYCLIZAR would obviously not be the best answer here. So this whole game is now on our Terapagos' shoulders, and I don't like that into what my opponent has left. I think we're going to have to get lucky with a burn on Ogerpon. And beating Dragonite is going to be a little tricky because we can spin to get our speed up. Okay, okay, nice. He is Scarfed. Okay, we can confirm that. We barely live. We do get a Dark Pulse back. And, I mean, I'm going to die to Rock, so I go for one more. Okay, so he wins 2 out of 3 of the speed ties, but at this point, Chi-Yu's chip damage doesn't really matter. So I don't know that he was modest. He might be modest Scarf based on the damage he was doing, but I'm a little more liable to believe he was timid, because he would get all those same damage rolls, but they're like more in the middle. I think this leaves us with exactly one option, and that is Terapagos. Because Dark Pulse definitely knocks out the Dun, and probably knocks out CYCLIZAR. Oh yeah, Dark Pulse easily knocks out CYCLIZAR. Oops. I kind of ran a minus Spit F nature on it, because he had so much physical priority, and it ended up not being what I needed at all. So I think CYCLIZAR was definitely what I should have had replacement here, like a Star Raptor instead. Spin doesn't knock him out, nor does it make me faster than him. Scorching Sand should knock him out. Sorry, I'm taking a minute. I'm just thinking. He's actually taking longer than me on his choices, so that's something, right? Oh, Gleam would actually be better because he's no longer weak to ground. Oops. He will break our shell, unfortunately. And I just didn't really want to play with flinches. So, of course. Okay, well. What can we do? He did 120 with that Dark Pulse. So that means he could do like up to 240, 250, 267. So this is a roll. And if he gets it, we just lose. But it would be like, oh, okay, we live. And we don't flinch. We Dazzling Gleam. We knock out the Chi-Yu. We're not still in this. There is absolutely no way. Because we weren't able to set up our speed. We've lost our Ditto. Which I don't think Ditto could have won in this endgame the way he's structured his team. Like, his Dragonite's never knocking out his Ogerpon. His Ogerpon can't lock into, you know, both a Rock type and a Grass type move. So I will just go for a Scorching Sands here if he lets me hit him. It's just Cudgel. Does that knock out the Dunsparce? I can only imagine it does. So CYCLIZAR, we could... Our win con here is CYCLIZAR, U-turn, break Sturdy, sack the Dunsparce, CYCLIZAR comes back in, Draco crit, Dragonite comes in, pulls Sleep Talk, we double edge, we Draco crit, and then we overheat crit Iron Shreds. So this is not a great situation to be in. We can quickly look at our Dunsparce into Ogerpon. Cornerstone. I mean, Cudgel's not knocking us out, so we could paralyze this. Or Cudgel might knock us out because we'll take rocks damage. But I could try to glare him. That's a tough choice, because I need to break Sturdy. So I think I will U-turn and not trust that Cowcon Ogerpon. So we'll just go for the Life Orb U-turn. Does over half, so we don't even have to burn our Draco. So we've gotten rid of the Chi-Yu, so we at least outspeed everything. So it all relies on crits. And now we can see if we actually live Cudgel, assuming that's what he went for. Superpower. Okay, so he weakens his own offenses. Definitely he knocks us out, for sure. So now it's Life Orb CYCLIZAR versus the world. We know that U-turn knocks him out, especially after he dropped his own defenses. Now would Double Edge knock him out at -1? Am I willing to risk that to hit Dragonite coming in? Probably not. So yeah, we are going to U-turn out of this game, probably. At least knock out the Ogerpon if he allows us. He could go into Dragonite here to reset his Ogerpon's defense, but yeah, not really any reason to because we've shown that U-turn does knock him out. So we just need a little bit of luck. Honestly, I should have just Ice Punched the Dragonite earlier, and I think we would be looking really good here. It does go into it, so it all depends on the Sleep Talk at this point. He did show that he's not adamant. Obviously, Scale Shot knocks us out, so this is all dependent on a 1 in 3 chance. He is multi-scale, so Draco won't knock him out. And I don't know that a Draco into another Draco knocks him out. If he's Iron Head... Yeah, we don't want to be taking recoil damage, because if he's Iron Head, then we actually might lose to that. So we will drop a Draco. Do a really nice chunk. So this all depends on what he pulls. If you pull Iron Head, we might just win. Come on, 2 in 3 chance. 2 in 3 chance that Mono Normal moves on in top 16. Gets Iron Head. Okay, this does 50%. Okay, I think we live. 2 more Life Orb hits. Draco should knock him out here. He no longer has multi-scale. Hopefully he doesn't switch in the treads. Does switch in the treads. Okay, if this crits, we still knock out treads. We miss, so we don't take the Life Orb damage, and we don't reduce our special attack, which actually might have been the best thing that could have happened to us. Overheat at -2 always knocks us out. He switches again. He's just gonna burn me down with my own Life Orb. Oh man. That's such a smart way to play the end game. Overheat does not knock him out. Now, does he switch again? Overheat may not even knock him out, actually. We have 2 attacks left in us, so we have to play this perfectly. What an end game. If he stays in, we Draco. We go to -6. Overheat may not even knock out Iron Treads. He switches to Treads, we Draco, we auto-lose. He keeps this in on Overheat, we auto-lose. He switches to Treads on the Overheat. Draco may not knock this out. So odds are definitely against us. This is a true 50-50. Is he going to switch again? I'm going to say no. He doesn't switch. We get the Draco. We will live on like 5 health, 4 health. Oh man, so now we're at -6. -6 Overheat into Iron Tread's lead. If he's min health, it's doing 27 to 30. Oh no, there is no way this knocks out. Oh my gosh, we're at -6. We need a crit to win, which is so crazy. Alright, Overheat, we do land. And we don't get it. He lives on 1. He lives on like 10%. Oh my gosh, what a game. I could have called the switch in the end game. I should have known Darude is a good player. He would have made that switch. Oh my gosh. What an absolute way to lose. That is hilarious. If we weren't Life Orb, we weren't like knocking things out anyway. So that was the right call. We just needed 1 more sack. We should have saved something in the back, maybe the Ursaluna as an additional sack so that we could regenerate our health back up, and then we would have won that, because we would have also reset our drops. So I think that was just a matter of bad ordering on my part. I think I should have used CYCLIZAR more in the mid game and then cleaned up with the Dunsparce, but I think he's always keeping Chiyu in the back. But yeah, GG's to my opponent. We're knocked out, but that is probably the absolute best way to get